Welcome back, everybody. Working on our primetime Crusader. We have to replace a water heater. Our 6-gallon tank failed us, so we're going to be removing this guy, which I already have some started, but removing that guy and installing. Picked us up a Fogatti 55,000 BTU on-demand tankless water heater. So heard mixed reviews on these, so we are going to install it, give it a little trial and error run, and I guess give you an update on how we like it. So we will get started here shortly. You gotta get access to the back, so I already removed the screws off of this panel. I just gotta get it out of here, and then we will go from there. Bypass water heater. And no, do not call it a hot water heater, because it is cold water that goes in and hot water that comes out. So it is a cold water heater. Thank you. It's a pet peeve of mine. Shut gas off to the whole unit. You are gonna want to undo that fitting. Before you do that, cut and scrape all this silicone away, because you're gonna have to feed it back through there. Undo your drain plug, bleed out all your water. I already have this one drained out, so we'll get this undone. All right, so once you get in here, you're gonna have a bunch of styrofoam all over that tank, but you're gonna have a hot water connection, and this one is a union type style. You can undo it, and the bottom is a pressed on male adapter that really is tough to spin. You're more than likely gonna have to cut that PEX or that clamp and pull it off, but it was able to turn for me, so I went from there. You're gonna have to disconnect all the low voltage. I have 5 wires on this one, and then you are going to have high voltage on there, which I will show you once I pull out this tank. So here we go. All right, so you're gonna want to remove all these screws. You're gonna have angle 90 brackets around all the corners. You've got to remove all the screws all the way around. And I actually had some silicone on here, but you're gonna have butyl. You're not gonna have to slice it like I am. I'm only doing it so it's easier to come off. But butyl, you will have to get a flat bar in there and pry it off the wall, and I will show you what that looks like. Alright, so once you get everything started, be careful on the side of the camper. I'm just using a simple screwdriver that everybody would have. And anything flat, scraper, putty knife would work. You just want to slowly work it around. And then, once you get down that far, what you're going to want to do, it'll be easy because it is soft copper, but push that gas line in. You can tape it up to make sure nothing gets in there, but we will clean it out. And then you should, so those are the wires I removed. You are going to have a high voltage and a low voltage for the old Atwood 6-gallon tanks. This is a dual fuel, electric and gas. So that is why we have both to remove. Alrighty, so we got our hole all opened up, got it cleaned up. We are gonna have to cut out a few inches and over due to the new tank is actually smaller, but the next size door that I can get, and this is the issue and why we chose this brand, is that's the only one I could fit on here. Everything else is shorter. This is a 2015 camper, and I had a heck of a time to try to find a door that would fit. So we're gonna get that marked out, see what it looks like. We are gonna have to cut some aluminum out. I'm gonna try to hug on this side. More so the fact that I'm gonna try to re-weld it back in and stiffen it up for future. So let's see how it goes. So another tip of advice, make sure you level out the camper first. So when you're going ahead and cutting through all this, all your lines are flush and it'll come out a lot better in the end. So fitment wise, the only issue I think we're gonna have is these screw heads have to recess, and they are right on that metal. They got to go in to the water heater from the bottom, sides, top, and then of course on the other side. So might have to recess this aluminum a little bit, notch it out, but in the paneling, but we'll see. All right, so all we used was a cut-off wheel, cut that metal flush. Did leave the trim long right now so we could fold it over. I did notice the aluminum on our camper is actually corroded right there. So I'm glad I got to that before it starts rotting out wood. We'll get that all sealed up best as we can. Alright, so we are going to take off the door that it comes with. There is 8 screws, and then we'll put on the new one. Same setup. Okay, so we got it all mounted up. I ended up deciding to go with some of this Red Devil Lifetime Ultra 230. There we go. So it goes on white, dries clear. Use the stuff on other trim pieces and everything on the camper, and it works awesome. Another reason why I use it is I'm gonna be bonding in between, just like they do on factory. So be a nice seal all the way around. I'm gonna go ahead and get this edge cleaned up right now, and then get to hooking everything up. So we are back inside. Show you 1/4 inch I notched out for that unit to sit. That is the gap that I was talking about. So water heater is actually smaller. You got to buy that door to make it fit, and it is a pretty sturdy and solid aluminum door. I am going to put a piece of wood under there that's off the old tank. Probably end up screwing that down in the floor, give it some more support. Matches pretty good with that aluminum. So what I am going to do for plumbing now, cold water in directly to the plumbing and PEX. And right about there, my phone decided to stop recording that evening. We did end up getting it fully installed, took it out camping for a whole week. The following week, performed awesome. I was worried about not having electric water for full hookup, but we went through very little propane. Our shower times were actually less, not waiting for water. We were able to shower back to back. So getting ready in the morning, a whole family, was no issue at all, which we are excited for since we're going to be living in the camper. Unfortunately, after this video was taken, we did go camping, and when we brought our camper back to our property, ended up having a tree fall on it. So we had to get a roof replaced this fall, and the camper's back and up working. But we will be following up with part 2 of this video, so stay tuned, and you'll see a lot more as we are converting to living in the camper. Thanks. Bye.